okay, we need to stop with this whole Josh Allen thing. We just need to stop. It's ridiculous. We're just sort of running in circles all day, having some conversation and about is it his fault? Is it not his fault? Does he need more? And blah blah blah. The thing is, everybody's sort of right in all of this conversation. Like the way we talk about quarterbacks, should he get the blame? Yeah. Do he get too much of the blame? Yeah. I was like, does he have enough? No. So he needs more. Yeah. I was like, but could he have done more? Yeah. Like all this could be right at the same time. Like the game didn't go according to plan how he wanted it in. There got to be a loser. The kicker missed the field goal, and it's like yes, and just like any other kicker missing the field goal, you got to talk about it. That's your only job. You got to make the kick. Stephon Diggs, should he have made that catch? Yeah. I was like, he tried to catch it too much with his body. But also, I think I was like, granted, yes, no one, you want to talk about no one receiver that stuff. But if nobody's analyzing the play of it, like how the DBs, like, sort of fell at his feet to where if he probably was one-on-one, he probably would have tried to jump up with his body and try to grab it like this. But because the DB landed at his feet, he probably wasn't able to turn the way he needed to. So therefore, he had to catch it like this. Because I was like, it's kind of hard for him to try to catch it with his hands in that mode. But I get it that, hey, just like we're going to give scrutiny to the quarterback, one receiver, you got to make a way to catch that ball. But then stuff like, where the pass to Shafir. Yes, I was like, the tackle came into him and stepped on his foot. Therefore, he wasn't able to get the pass off. I think if he would have been able to properly throw, he had the window because he got the arm to do it in order to make that pass. But in saying that, you can also say he didn't manipulate the pocket well enough in order for him to do it. He just assumed that what that was. You could say that. You could say, I was like, but then also too, like they're like the pass he threw to Trentfield, where it was like a 60-something yard bomb also, that he had to lay out and catch and he couldn't make that catch. Yes, you got to make plays. People got to make plays. This is what we know. You want to win games, you got to make plays. But at the same time, like that wasn't a great throw. That was a throw he had to adjust to. If it was a great throw, it'd be like somewhere in the pocket or something like that, or it would have been, you know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't have to dive for it. Now, in saying that, everybody want to get on, Diggs, and I'm like, he was thrown to 4 times. Yeah, you could say something about like, I was like, yeah, but he was thrown to 4 times, and I'm like, I think he only caught like 1 or 2 of them. So that tells me that either y'all lost faith in him to make plays, or y'all going away from him. So therefore, he doesn't even have a chance to rebound and make plays. I think it's crazy that more people are talking about, like, I'm like, if Diggs catches that ball, he's against a linebacker. When you're trying to throw it to Shafir for the touchdown, I was like, Diggs was open in the flat. If he'd have caught that, he's against a linebacker. Like, yes, throwing that and adjusting has enough time for the linebacker to come and get him. But one is a shorter down, but also two, I'm pretty sure that he will probably outrun him for the first down. Then people want to talk about the second play, and I was like, to me, Kincaid's not open. Like, yes, he's open for a Josh Allen window, but he's not open. Cause he got 2 people at the top and 2 people at the bottom. That got to be a nice pass once Allen starts on the rollout. But also, considering how the kicker has been the last couple of weeks, considering the win, also I was like, get closer. Like, well, the kicker. Yes, the kicker got to make that play. I'm not taking away from that. But I'm like, you got to draw a better game plan, or Josh Allen got to understand, like, hey, let's just get closer instead of trying to do this knockout play. Because the thing is, too, you're also trying to fight Mahomes getting back on the field. So we could talk all this stuff about Allen, but Mahomes might still get back on the field. So I'm saying it's not a done deal that this game would, I guess that people would have felt better if Allen would have went down. And no, because then we would have talked about defense. Because people were bringing up the damn defense from a couple years ago when he had 13 seconds. They were like, Allen made the play and the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed or whatever. All you had to do was step him down. And I'm like, first of all, you had damn Tyreek Hill, the fastest MFer in the damn game, that changed that those two passes to Tyreek Hill changed the whole time dynamic. And also, and I'm like Kelsey there as well too. So it's like, yes, you want to say something about the defense, but I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, there was a high scoring game. No defense was doing anything. This here too, it's like, yes, the Chiefs defense they eventually stopped it. Sorta. I was like, some of that was also just like, drop passes and stuff like that, where it wasn't necessarily the Chiefs, it was really just the circumstances of things. But I was like, I just don't understand that. I'm like, and this is where it's like a problem that I'm just like, we're making excuses for Allen. Because it's like, yeah, but his defense that has been hurt and stuff, we're over here like, they can't. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what more else? Like, I mean, a perfect world, yes, but not too many teams have the perfect situations. I'm like, we were talking about the 49ers with their excellent defense. Now it's not no much. Ravens sort of still got it, but at the same time, the Ravens don't. Their defense to me is really like the two linebackers, and they talk about Hamilton, and they got a collection of people everywhere that make the team go. So it's like it's not really a star-studded team that you're like fearful of all the collective. They're really like hot, like really good in every spot and great at two couple spots. So I'm like, and not that I was like offense. I'm like they did the offensive coordinator came in and changed the whole dynamic of the game, gave him a whole different way of doing stuff. Where it's like James Cook became a thing. So I'm like, does he need like? You never don't want more things. Like, so it's like, I'm not saying that he doesn't need more. Because who's going to say no to more? They keep Diggs, and say they keep Davis, and then they pick up another receiver that's, somewhere between, like, really, like be a number 2, but they're going to be number 3 in the offense. And you still got Shafir with Trentfield. That's a good crop of receivers. We see like that. We see what that sort of does in, like, other situations. Almost, it's sort of like Philly with they got 2 number 1 receivers, but they don't really have a third. Baltimore really don't have a number 1 receiver. I was like, Zay Flowers they're quintessential number 1 receiver, but the other ones now fit into a better molding with it, where it's like Aguilar, Beckham, and Bateman. But I was like, I feel like he sort of has that. He got 2 dynamic tight ends. So it's like, so in some cases, like, okay, so maybe the play calling could be a lot better. But I was like, Allen just came up short. That could be true as well. It could have just been like he came up short. It's fine. It's like, it sucks, but it happens. But it's like this over talking about, like, like he's the only guy that could need more or could need saving, when it's like, it's not his fault or whatever. And it's like, okay, I get it. He's great. And it's like, yes, we like it if he won, maybe. Depending on who you are. But at the same time, he failed. That what happens in sports. There's really nothing you can. This ain't nothing where it's like if Detroit Lions lose, it's like, we made it this far. You can sort of have some hindsight on looking back to it. But I was like, at the same time, the Bills wasn't supposed to be here. We thought they were going to be poo-poo, and for a while, I was like, then they end up getting to the number 2 seed when they was almost at the playoff. That's sort of a win. A lot of injuries happened on their team. I was like, on defense, and the defense really played pretty good considering that and who they were going up against. So yeah, does he need more? Yes. We're never saying never to him having more help. Could he made an extra play or 2? Yeah, because that's what you sort of do when you're great. You make those extra plays that it's like, how did he do that? And Josh Allen does give us a lot of that. just haven't had it just didn't go to a win. I was like, did the other player need to step up? Yeah, also too. Yeah, they also do. Yeah, I was like, so I just think that everybody just sort of talking in circles about different things because I'm like, Allen gets, I think, the right amount of scrutiny. Like of all the people we scrutinize, I'm like, here he's in that top tier level, and I'm like, outside of Dak, that's on a really famous team, you know, Rodder was on a famous team. He's in New York and he makes himself a lightning rod of a person. Mahomes, top quarterback in the league. I was like Lamar Jackson. I was like, he's in that category, but also too he's also a Paul Rudd and character, like whatever you want to say, lightning rod topic. Burrow when he's healthy came on the scene, took him to the Super Bowl, and since then, and basically, if he's healthy, they're pretty much like a game or so away from the championship. So I was like, guess what we're not doing? We ain't talking about Herbert. We ain't giving that to Herbert. Trevor Lawrence, we ain't talking about him. I was like, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia, the prominent team was in the Super Bowl. I'm like, but I was like, Brock Purdy, top team. I was like in the limelight. I was like a team that's been to the Super Bowl, always in the championship game. So I think we're talking about him really appropriately. We just give him a lot more poor baby than other quarterbacks. Like we don't. I was like, and granted, yes, he plays better than he played better than Dak. So therefore, he's not gonna get the poor baby that Dak is. So I was like, I get that. I get that he's playing really great, but I mean, also if Dak would have played really great, we still wouldn't have been like, oh man, I guess he's just not enough. No matter how much he do, I was like, the Cowboy got everything that he needs. So I was like, I just think that we're overdoing it with the Josh Allen stuff. Don't get me wrong. I understand it being a topic. I understand it being talked about. People got to talk about stuff as I'm doing here, TV shows, all that stuff. So it's like, but I don't mind that part. It's the amount of, like, everybody's really got some energy for it. That, sure. I was like, I do think some of it's weird of it being really, really high in some points, other than for some people or how we frame the discussion. I guess I should say, when I'm like, this is what we do to all quarterbacks. So I don't see what's the problem with what we're doing. But anyway, that's just my little BS on it. I guess I added a branch to the fire. I guess I don't know if that increases it or not, but probably won't. Ah, well. Till next time. See you soon.